What have I learned about the technologies from the process of constructing this project? Well, initially I'd say that it's quite a hard process to go through with Photoshop and InDesign, also like associating the product with the media, but basically it's quite a long process because you have the research to do beforehand as well as making your product into what it is. So that means like the photos, being able to use cameras in a correct way, and also being able to use InDesign and Photoshop. So the thing that I initially found hardest was using InDesign, which you can see in my preliminary task, because I wouldn't exactly say it's the hardest of programs to use, but when you don't know it, you've got to learn about it as well as learn about the products. The product that you're trying to create, which was a grime music magazine, and I've basically learned that you've got to put time into it and effort. Otherwise, you're not going to come out with what you want, and you need to be able to use it properly. Because I've looked at my first task, and what I came out with wasn't that good. But as I sort of progressed in using InDesign, it sort of, I guess, broadened my horizons because it was quite a good program. Being able to set out the text and, having stuff on 2 pages, and it was a lot more professional. Also, when it comes to cameras as well, I learned a lot of different techniques to use for like photography in particular. For example, one picture I used had quite good lighting in it, but it wasn't set in a way that I could use for a magazine cover. So instead of just taking the pictures, you have to think about it. So it's sort of the thing of you need to have everything set out in your mind so you can put it onto paper. You can't just, it's not the kind of thing where you can just sort of just do it. You just have a random bunch of pictures and you pick out one and then you just do it. You have to know what you're doing before, so you can't really improvise unless it's the last, unless you're really short of time or anything. But luckily I didn't have to improvise in particular. And I guess that was the main thing. It was also the whole idea of using a blog was quite new to me, because obviously I've got a social networking site, and I also have like different kind of blogs, but putting everything out there, being able to use like audio programs to evaluate my work was it was a new thing for me, and I wasn't too sure of it at first, but as I've learned about it, it's quite a sort of sophisticated way of doing things, and is a lot more organised than perhaps doing the GCSE media, which I did before, which is all paperwork. A lot of it's written, and you don't get to express yourself as much, because on my blog I've got pictures on there, I have videos, I have all sorts, and then I can link to other people, I can see what other people think, which all sort of ties into the general idea of the product. So it built up to making my final product better, even though it was harder for me to use a lot of the technologies that were associated with creating the product. And I guess that was it. It was just learning to control them, learning what actually you need to create things in the media and so on. like my music magazine. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah.